Welcome to the Cheech Playbook, ladies and gentlemen, with yours truly, Alex. We have the 4 o'clock game slates for the Week 4 season of the NFL underway. We're kicking it off with the Giants at the Rams. But before we get into that, I just want to have a little, recap about what I said for the 1 p.m. games. There are a few upsets. I love Miami covering the spread against the Seattle Seahawks, although I do think the Seahawks are going to win. That's probably going to be my lock of the week, is Miami getting 6.5, 7 points, depending on where you see the spread, certain shops and everything like that. Getting 6.5 points, I think that's huge. Um, yeah, so the Giants at the Rams. The Rams are 13 and a half point favorites, and they have every reason to be. I mean, they really should have won last week. That really was not a pass interference call that went against the Rams, against the Buffalo Bills. And look, I don't know who you blame more. I love Sean McDermott as a head coach for the Bills, but at the same time, how do you have that kind of a half? What is it with the score of 28-3? Every time there's a 28-3 score, the other team always seems to come back. But what do I know, right? So the Rams are 13 and a half point favorites at home against the Giants. Ready for these statistics about Daniel Jones? It's bad. Daniel Jones, 2 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, 59.8% completion percentage, 12.7 pass points per game is what the Giants are averaging. 12.7 points a game, 289 pass yards a game, and I'm sorry, 289 yards per game and 233 pass yards per game. All three of those statistics rank absolute dead last in the NFL. And they have 56 rush yards per game, which is also dead last in the NFL. They lost 36-9 at home last Sunday, and they fall to 0-3 for the first time since 1996. In their games played so far this season, they are actually being outscored 79-38. 38 points and a negative 41 point differential is the second worst in the league. Right next to the other New York team that also plays in New Jersey, the Jets. Pretty interesting. Daniel Jones is also the rush leader with 92 yards. Look, why you would even consider the Giants to win, make it close, cover the spread is beyond me. The Giants are just a terrible, terrible, terrible team. There's no other way to put it. I don't know how they kept it close against the Bears. I don't think I think the Bears are a little bit of a fluke too, a lot of bit of a fluke. Um, so you have this team with all these horrid statistics going up against a Los Angeles Rams team who they look like the Rams of 2 years ago. I think last year was a little bit of a Super Bowl hangover, but ever since the start of this year, they've looked like the Rams of old, right? Um, Jared Goff in the fourth quarter is the best quarterback in the league. He's 12 of 15, 194 yards, 2 touchdowns, with a perfect pass rating, 158.3 pass rating. That's in the fourth quarter. There's no other quarterback you rather had this year than Jared Goff, huh? 7.5 yards per first down the Rams are averaging. So they get the ball down the field, they run the ball, they do what they have to do on every first down. The Giants are 5.0 um, points per first down, which is 25th in the league. The Giants can't move the ball. The Rams seem to move the ball at a rapid rate. A 13 and a half point spread is very hefty. But look, when you have in a couple of years, the Rams are going to be in an absolute pickle, right? Because they signed all these guys and they traded a whole bunch of draft picks. In 3-4 years, the Rams are going to be terrible. No one's going to even recognize anyone on that team. But right now, they're meant to win. They're meant to win. They're supposed to go to the playoffs. They're supposed to go to the Super Bowl. They have these guys on, excuse me, on defense, on offense. I mean, everywhere you look, there's weapons. Aaron Donald is probably the best, you know, defensive player since I don't know Lawrence Taylor. I mean, the guy is ranked third in the NFL as far as top 100 players go. Right, the NFL ranked him third. It's incredible, and he's been in the top five for like the past 3 years. The guy's an animal. You got Jalen Ramsey, a lockdown corner. Man, everywhere you look, there's weapons on the Rams team. Everywhere. Saying that, and now you're playing the Giants, who don't even have a running back. It's going to be a crapshoot for the Giants, to say the least. I have the Rams winning this one extremely easily. I'm going to go Rams 30, Giants 9. Giants get 3 field goals because they can't move the ball. I'm going Rams 30 to 9. The New England Patriots are at the Kansas City Chiefs. The Kansas City Chiefs are a 7-point favorite. I saw a statistic about the Chiefs dating back to last year. Ready? Their last loss was Week 10 to the Titans. That was in Tennessee, and it was only by 3 points. Before that, they lost to the Packers by 7 points, and before that, they lost to the Broncos by also 1 possession. I think Mahomes hasn't lost by more than 1 possession in his entire time in the NFL, if I'm not mistaken. Um, all the losses last year were by 1 possession, and the Chiefs, they have not lost since Week 10 of the NFL last season. They haven't lost since Week 10. They are on a 12-game winning streak, and they're 11-1 against the spread during that streak. That's the team to bet, right? The only win that they had that they did not cover was against the Chargers. A division game, flat spot for Kansas City, good spot for the Chargers, bringing in their rookie quarterback. But a lot of things are going in the direction of the Chiefs, man. Since Reed has came in 2013, Kansas City has won 3 of 4 games against New England in the regular season. Kansas City from top to bottom, their offense is just phenomenal. 4th in points per game, 5th in yards per game, 5th in pass yards per game, 9th in rush yards per game. They're ranked in the top 10 for every statistic. For the offensive side of the football, great on the offense. Even the defense is stepping up too. Statistically, as far as points given up, they're 12th. They're right there from top to bottom. Both sides of the football, it's amazing. The Patriots. 178 rush yards per game. They lead the NFL as far as rushing. When you have Cam Newton and your go-to is pretty much to run the football. So I get how. They're 2-1. They could easily be 3-0. Seattle had a very good goal line stand against them to end the game. So, but my, theology on this is if you give the football to your best player when the game is on the line, and that's what they did. That's what the New England Patriots did when they played Seattle. They gave it to Cam Newton. That's the best player on the team. He tried to run it in for a score, and he got stopped. No knock. Maybe the play call could have been a little more designed, a little bit better of a design play. But at the end of the day, you gave the ball to your best player, and Cam Newton is the best player on the team. They could be 3-0. I mean, who's to say they could? But at least the one loss that they have is by 1 possession. They were in the game. A lot of people thought, even before the Cam Newton, well, I thought before the Cam Newton signing with Jarrett Stidham at quarterback that they weren't going to do much. I thought they were going to be a 7-9 team, kind of bouncing around, floating around 7-9, 6-10, maybe 8-8. But with Cam, they're a playoff team. I don't think you slice and dice it any other way. I think the Bills win the division, as I said before. Pats coming second. Yeah, they have not lost by double digits, right? That's what the statistic is when they lost to the Seahawks. I think that the New England Patriots are kind of a dark horse team, and this is why a lot of people are not expecting them to get to the playoffs because of the dominant teams that you have in the AFC right now. People think Pittsburgh is dominant. We didn't get to Pittsburgh on the pod because the Titans are quarantining, and Pittsburgh they're postponing the game. But I do not think that Pittsburgh is a good team by any stretch of the imagination. They're 3-0. They beat teams that combined 0-9. You're not good, Pittsburgh. I love the comment section on that one. If you guys want to, fight me tooth and nail on that, that'd be great. Yeah, I think the New England Patriots are going to take Pittsburgh's spot. Pittsburgh's not going to win the division. It's going to be the Ravens. And the Pats are going to take the wild card spot instead. There's 7 teams making it, so maybe Pittsburgh slides in, but the Patriots are They're a playoff team. The Chiefs giving 7 away to the Pats. I'd take the Pats. I think the Chiefs win, but the Pats cover this 7-point spread. I'd go Chiefs 24, New England Patriots 20. It's my pick for that one. Wow, there's only what 4 games on for 4 o'clock. Well, yeah, we got the Bills at the Raiders. This is my favorite game of the 4 o'clock games because you have split action every way you slice and dice this one. There's a lot of people on the Bills. There's a lot of people on the Raiders. What are we going to get from Derek Carr? Because Carr has been phenomenal so far this year. He has 6 touchdowns, no interceptions, a 74% completion percentage. But I said Josh Allen was getting MVP, and he's playing like an MVP. He's doing very well. Josh Allen excuse me, has 10 touchdowns, 1 interception, 71% completion percentage. He's passing for 346 yards per game, most in the NFL. He also has 1,038 pass yards, 10 touchdowns. He's the 6th player in NFL history with at least 1,000 pass yards and 10 touchdowns in his first 3 games of the season. Very special kid. And like I said, he's a tank. He's 230 plus pounds. Um, and in the first half, if you like to see the Bills in the first half of action, you're probably sitting pretty. And if you're a Bills fan, you see the first half of action, you're like, wow, my team is really good until the second half comes. And then you're like, what the hell happened? Because in the first half, the Buffalo Bills at they score 59 points per game and allow 16 points per game in the first half, which is best in the NFL for both. And then the second half comes and you allow 61 second half points. And that's right behind the great Dan Quinn and the Atlanta Falcons for 74 points. So first half Bills are great. Second half Bills, you got to bite your tongue, hold your breath to see what they're going to do this time, right? But it's so weird for a Sean McDermott team because I love him. And he's a very good coach. He's brought this team to be a playoff contender. So it's very rare to, see that all the time with Sean McDermott. But I think that, he'll, get his team ready to play in the second halves for the weeks to come. The Raiders have won the last 8 out of the last 12 meetings versus the Bills dating back to 1992. The Raiders have allowed 150 rush yards versus New England. It was the most since 2015 in Week 10 against Minnesota and the great Adrian Peterson. That's right. Derek Carr has a streak of 267 straight passes without an interception. It's the longest in the NFL. And the only other quarterback to have a longer streak than that in the Raider franchise was also Derek Carr for 332 straight passes without an interception. Both quarterbacks, Josh Allen and Derek Carr, lost 3 fumbles so far this season. Look, both of them, these teams are very interesting because a lot of people had the Raiders as the dark horse before the season started. I did not see it. I see what they're talking about now. They have a lot of good players. They have a lot of good weapons. It's just the division is extremely difficult with the Chiefs in there, but I could definitely see the Raiders making a push. The Bills are 3.5-point favorites on the road. After that had to have been an emotional win. You're up 28-3, and in the second half, you give up, 21 points. Even more. The Rams make a game out of it, and you win on a game-winning pass interference call. That's pretty much what set the deal for the Bills to win. Emotional win for the Bills. Now they're on the road going into Las Vegas, and the Raiders just got blown out by the Patriots on the road. Raiders are coming back home. I think it's sort of a flat spot for Buffalo. I think the Raiders actually not only cover, but they straight up win. I'm going upset here. Upset of the week for the 4 o'clock games. I got the Las Vegas Raiders outright beating the Buffalo Bills 30-27. Last game for the night games is the Philadelphia Eagles at the San Francisco 49ers. The Niners laying 7 Why in the world would you want to bet on the Philadelphia Eagles? I bet them last week. I bet them the week before. I like them in week one. 0-3 against the spread. I just don't understand. I don't get it. Wentz, 59% completion percentage, 3 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. It's the first time since '99 the Eagles haven't won in their first 3 weeks. I don't understand. And if you look at, you do the eye test and you actually look at Carson Wentz playing, he looks like he doesn't even want to be there. Again, that's my opinion. When I see him on the field, and he doesn't look happy, he doesn't look ready, he doesn't look engaged. He looks like he's afraid he's going to get hurt again, and that's how he's playing. He's playing afraid, in my opinion, at least. That's what I see every time I see Wentz come onto the field. Right? The Eagles have 28 points per game. They're 28th in points per game, 21st in yards per game, 23rd in pass yards per game, 17th in rush yards per game. Bottom tier for all of it. They won 6 out of the last 8 meetings against the Niners. But look at this, ready? Carson Wentz has a 42.8 passer rating after halftime. So when it's crunch time, the game matters. That's what you're putting the ball in the hands of. And it's a 42.8 pass rating. Yikes. Not good. Other side of the ball, I mean, the Niners have looked phenomenal, right? Yeah, man, they look great. The Niners are without Jimmy G. They have an injured Kittle. They have 8 injured players altogether. They still won. Oh my God, they blew them. They played the Jets and the Giants. They didn't have any travel because they probably stayed in New Jersey after they whomped the Jets, and they stayed in New Jersey to whomp the Giants. Time zone differential, all that kind of stuff probably didn't come into effect last week because they probably stayed on the East Coast. Now they're going back home, and they played 2 of the worst teams in the league back-to-back weeks. Yeah, of course you're going to look good. If the Vikings play the Jets or the Giants, we'll make them look good, right? It's the Jets and the Giants. They stink. There's nothing good about them. Because they did so good, there is a little stat that I want to get into. The Niners didn't punt once for the first time since 1993. That was pretty cool when I saw that. I was like, holy cow, they've had a couple good teams and good offenses, but it was the first time since '92 that they didn't do that. They're allowing 32.3 receiving yards to tight ends, which is the 3rd best in the NFL. So Eagles are going to get shut down pretty much, is what the statistic is telling me. But look, when I look at this all around, the Eagles have looked as bad as you could get. The Niners have looked as good as you could get, which is pretty much telling me take the Eagles and the 7 points, which I will. I'll take the 7 points with the Philadelphia Eagles. I will not pick them to win, but for the 4th straight week, I'll take you guys, Philly. I'll take the Niners winning, though. Give me the Niners 23, the Eagles 17. They barely cover, but they do it. I think 7 points is a lot. So we got the Monday night game coming up for you tomorrow night. We're going to do it after all the games on the NFL slate for 4 o'clock. So we'll get crack-a-lackin' probably around 7:38 right before kickoff for Sunday Night Football. And we'll see you then, guys. Thanks for tuning in. I appreciate it. Don't forget to like, subscribe to my channel. I appreciate all you guys. Thank you.